A lot of flashing lights. We're seeing people kind of move around as well. The power is actually off in this area here. If you take a look off to the left, and you can see that the exit here is closed down. So a lot of people kind of walking around. We're still trying to assess the damage as we move on here. But yes, a lot of damage. Jerry, if you can actually zoom into that, where that car is over there, it looks like the fence is blown down. So again, we're going to be out here assessing the damage, but you can see this is I-24 West, and a lot of damage. So we'll try to get our bearings here and give you some more damage once it comes up. But again, certainly call your loved ones here and make sure they're okay, because this storm came through with a ferocity.
Okay, here we go. I want to show you this. This is a picture from Germantown. Look at this. You can see the damage. Lots of structural damage down there. You can see it looks like things are just metal, kind of mangled together. Definitely signs tornado possibly going through at this time. And we did see the tornado on the west side of Nashville as it came closer to Germantown by power flashes. And that's the same storm we have been watching all night long from you. We've actually been watching it since Benton, Carroll, and Henry counties. And now we're all the way out to the eastern part of our state. We're looking at Jackson, Smith, Trousdale, Wilson County. Now, one thing I can tell you, the tornado warning has been dropped, which is good news for now. It's not to say that it could not spin right back up, because this storm went down for a little bit, if you remember, near Davidson County, and came right back up with a vengeance. But it does still have a severe thunderstorm warning out there for Carthage, Gordonsville. And you can see this for Trousdale, Wilson, Jackson, and Smith counties. And again, the reason, again, is for lightning, wind gusts to 60 miles an hour. You can see the rotation has widened out a bit, which is good news. It does not look as tight or as wrapped as it once was, the tornado that is, that we were watching along the Interstate 40. I'm going to show you a few other things here as we can, and show you where we were dealing with the debris. This was the last debris track we had. So right near Gordonsville, there was a little bit of damage, it looks like, happening just to the west side of Gordonsville here. But maybe it's not tornado damage necessarily anymore. Now we're talking about the possibility of even straight line wind damage with this storm. But I'll tell you this much. You need to be thinking about your tornado precautions tonight, because we have several active storms that we are watching, and you want to be going down to the lowest level, a room with no wind. State is not done with weather yet either. We have lots of storms that are starting to develop and starting to strengthen, and because of that, Storm Prediction Center has gone ahead and issued a severe thunderstorm watch. Radar here, lots of activity on the radar at this point. Now, up in southern Kentucky, it's a flooding thing. We have several areas that are under flash flood. Interstate 40, it was tornado warned and has caused quite a bit of damage. We've had reports basically from Nashville to East Nashville to Mount Juliet to Belinda City, and then all the way over towards Lebanon with damage reports coming on in. And now we've got this entire line of storms about to push in from the west here. And although they are not severe just yet, they could quickly turn severe. So we're going to be tracking all of these storms for you as we head through the evening and overnight hours. Well, now it's overnight hours. Sorry, I've been on air for a while. Okay, Jackson, Smith, Trousdale, Wilson counties, you are in effect for this severe thunderstorm warning until 60 miles an hour. We're also talking about hail, quarter size in nature, although we have had hail up to baseball size in nature in Dixon County, and we're watching these storms with lots of lightning, very heavy downpours, and we're going to continue to track it. The other thing it looks like is we got a flash flood warning that just got issued for parts of our area. Flood warning for a part of our area. Let me get into here real fast. Flood warning now for Cheatham, Davidson, Sumner, and Wilson counties, and this is going to be in effect until 3:30 in the morning hours. Still heavy rain, still wind, still hail, still tornadoes can be expected. We're getting a lot of reports of a lot of damage being done around the East Nashville area. Hendersonville now coming in with some reports too. And then the other thing I want to make sure you guys are aware of for tonight and into the early morning, phone charged and in the on position, because we are streaming on downloading the WCare. For the rest of this morning, what we're going to expect, well, more storms are going to start to develop, and they're going to start to train. So there could be severe storms, there could be tornado warnings, and there could be some more flash flood warnings that get issued through the morning hours for that ride into work. By 7 o'clock, most of the activity is pushing to the south and east, and then it will move out of here shortly after that. But the story is this: we still have that severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of our area. Okay, we want to go back out to Brett. He's talking to a witness right now that saw the tornado, I'm guessing. Out to you.
How long have you been driving? 20 years.
And
What?
It came so fast, and then as soon as I got stopped and I didn't see the wind no more, I was scared the second one was gonna come. So I ran under the underpass. Roy Harden.
Okay.
Good?
Okay, we're watching this really carefully here. By the way, we're looking at velocity products here. I like to put it in the velocity mode just to make sure nothing too crazy is happening, but we didn't back up the rotation that is here. I'm going to circle it and show you exactly what I'm talking about. This is now west.
It looks like the rotation is tightening back up, strengthening again, the rotation.
See, still hugging Interstate 40, folks.
It was weakening, and now it looks like the rotation is strengthening again.
Area of concern. Now, it is not tornado warned, just to let you know. It's a severe thunderstorm, the bright greens and the bright reds. And in particular here, I'm going to just put a storm track on if they do potentially issue a tornado warning.
At least that's an update for right now.
Heading, because it is going pretty fast.
What's happening.
You know where it's going to be heading into? Buffalo Valley.
Long, and I don't know if we have that.
Checking channel 4 now.
It was just spectacular. You could see, you could see this thing going along for a while and occasionally causing power flashes. And those things don't flash for no reason. They rarely flash when you have damaging wind gusts, although that could happen. They usually flash when you've actually got tornadoes.
Hey, Dan, National Weather Service just now issuing another severe thunderstorm warning. Right where we're just looking at, here to go, is popping up on the radar right now.
Yes.
Let me,
Okay, as we mentioned, just a lot of kind of a very fluid situation out here as first responders are trying to get out here. We will send it back to you guys in the studio for just a moment, kind of get our bearings out here, and we will come back to you as soon as we kind of figure out another spot to show you. Bree?
Chris, thank you so much. You know, just the video images, I don't know if we can keep Chris's camera up, but see the metal that was twisted on the ground. This is a look of the loop of radar of the storm as it came through Nashville. It had a tornado warning on it as it came through Dixon County, and then the rotation dropped out. And then it moved through Cheatham County. There's a severe thunderstorm warning on it. And when it came into southern parts of Dixon County, right around 12:15 to 12:30, that's when the rotation started to pick up. You see that tornado warning issued. That was around 12:30 tonight, 12:45. Tornado on the ground. Henry saw it passing News Channel 5. We're in the north part of town near First Tennessee Park. It moved through East Nashville over towards Hermitage, Old Hickory, parts of Mount Juliet Elementary School. It tracked just near that. The storm system continued through the Lebanon area, I-40 crossing Interstate 40 and Interstate 70. At this point, the center of the storm, the rotation has diminished. Seen in the past how the rotation signature diminished and then it intensified rapidly, and that's what has caused significant damage through northern parts of downtown as it crossed multiple interstates tonight. We've already seen one live look from Chris Conti. Matthew Torres is in East Nashville. Jason, give me the link. East Nashville, I believe Woodlawn, and what you're seeing.
Hey Bree, that's right. We're just near 5 Points area on Woodland Street right now. I want to show you, this was so obvious that we had to stop here. This is the Basement East on Woodland Street, a popular music venue here in East Nashville. As you can see right now, this really is the result of that tornado, as the roof has just been blown off. The side of this wall has just been crushed in. You can see the water line just now gushing out water across this property. This is quite the sight to see. I did speak to some folks just standing around here. Apparently the workers, they just closed right before the strong winds moved through, and they just made it to the basement 60 seconds, they say, right before everything started crumbling down. This is the area of Woodland Street right now, just within the 5 Points area, where we have fire crews just now traveling everywhere. I just want to make sure throughout the area, just getting past this. Even me, who live just north of 5 Points, just getting to the station was a difficult task to do. But my photojournalist, Jimmy Farmer, he says he couldn't help but notice the condo right across the street with the windows just blown out right now, and nearby this condo, and we're going to get to that part, down trees, which makes it hard to move around here, so difficult. But again, we just want to show you Basement East right now here on Woodland Street. It's amazing, and unfortunately we're meeting the folks who worked here under these circumstances. But this popular music venue, just really the backdrop of the lightning that you see there still, has smashed in and just crumbled through, and folks who are just making their way right now, clearly shocked about what they are seeing here. Right now we haven't heard of
that are dealing with this thing have cleared the roads and called the all clear for everyone to come on by. That's probably the best bet, because it's going to be a mess. And really hold up a lot of people in the morning, so please be understanding of that and stay away all you can. Baxter, Center Grove, so we've got probably some hail in this, probably some hail back toward Bellwood, and then that storm that Melanie showed you back toward Henderson, Lexington, that sort of thing, West Tennessee, that may have 2 to 3 inch diameter hail, because we've gotten some reports tonight of 3 inch diameter hail when we saw little pockets of black. It looks like we see just the purple stuff here, so 1 inch diameter hail, but there's still huge hail out there tonight, and because of that, we've got a bunch of severe
really see it out there. It's just passing over Lexington into Parsons, and let's put a just for the fun of it, let's put a little storm threat on there and hail 1.5 inches there, and a little bit lesser as it gets, especially out there in West Tennessee.
Yep, so moving into, so this is Decatur County. So Decatur County is getting some rain. You're going to get some hail.
Tornado warning right now doesn't mean the storm isn't dangerous. A severe thunderstorm warning is certainly nothing to, turn up your nose at. It's definitely dangerous, especially when we're talking about hail this big. I mean, this is, I'd say, bigger than a golf ball, what we're looking at right now. I mean, a little bit closer to tennis ball sized hail from Charlotte. April sent in that photo. Dana sent in this one. Look at all of that hail. I mean, these are just a few of the photos we've gotten over the last couple of hours. So just something to keep in mind, folks. Just because there's no tornado on the ground doesn't mean that the storm isn't dangerous. Hail is a threat. Very gusty winds are a threat. Definitely. I didn't hear you too well. Oh, Brent's outside right now? All right.
Spring Street right here. You can see a lot of power lines down, a lot of damage. We're right next to Top Golf, and you can see they've got the bridge actually shut down. The Knights Inn taking a lot of damage, and this U-Haul factory or building looks like it has been demolished. You can see the trailers actually overturned on their sides. A lot of people coming out of their hotel or the motel, the Knights Inn. You can take a look, Jerry, up on the 2nd or 3rd floor. There looks like they might be searching through there to make sure everyone's okay. This is a lot of damage here, a lot of debris. We can't really get much further than this. As mentioned, there are a lot of downed power lines, but again, Spring Street right here. Take a look off to the left and you can see where we were just west, where there are 2 overturned FedEx semis. There's a car also that was damaged. We did manage to speak with the drivers of those cars. They said, or those semis, excuse me. They said that they are okay. They are lucky to be alive. They said they saw the wind just blow through and push them off the interstate. Back here to Spring Street, though, a lot of emergency personnel out here. Jerry, if we could zoom in, you can see we've seen a few families with bags and flashlights kind of walking out from across this bridge here, and still a lot of damage. So I'm going to gather our thoughts here, but once we do, we will give you some more damage updates. But again, off to the right here, Jerry, you can see some more residents maybe walking across the bridge from German.
Here. I know a lot of emergency crews are working in the downtown area right now, responding at this point, and I think folks are being urged just to stay away from these damaged sites right now. Fortunately, back here at the studio, no reports of any injuries, but of course this is very preliminary. I can tell you from experiencing the 98 situation where a tornado hit Nashville, just to our disbelief, we're going through a similar long-term severe weather event, and when you look at the radar and what Danielle is tracking out near Camden, this is going to be a long morning for most of us, but there are numerous power outages right now. We understand that. It's clear that this, as we get some light on this in a few hours from now, we are going to have a widespread path of damage, really from the west side of town all the way possibly out as far as Mount Juliet, and even beyond that. We're tracking a possible tornado on the ground now with severe thunderstorms off to our west. Brent, I want to ask you about the interstate. As far as you could see, everyone was okay?
We spoke to said that they are okay. The other driver involved said he was okay as well. One of those semis said that he was lifted up off of I-24 and actually shot out into that big median area there just off the Jefferson exit. If you're familiar with that area, a big open space. He said he didn't know what was going to happen. His vehicle left there. He walked up and said he's thankful to be alive. So that's the good news here. I do want to show you the damage here. We've gotten a little bit closer to the U-Haul. This looks like a bomb went off in this area here. This is right next to the Knights Inn right on Spring Street, as we mentioned. The gas station torn up pretty bad. And what you're looking at, this was a building. This is completely demolished. There is shattered glass. There are U-Hauls on their sides. And a second ago, we actually saw a piece of the traffic light that had been ripped off. You can almost see the path from where this storm moved through. And again, just, I mean, look at this. This is all debris. This looks like part of the back back of a U-Haul that maybe would have held the lift gate there, and scooters. So this is a lot of damage, and we've only seen a small portion of this at this time. We are going to keep on moving around, but again, you got to think that there are a lot of people out here trying to get through this, and